We'll call to order the Board of Zoning and Appeals. Would you please stand for the pledge? Jerry, would you lead us in the pledge, please? Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Here.
Joe Crowell.
Here.
Sartain.
Here.
Joe Machado. Michael Rather.
Here.
Jared Barrett.
Here.
Present.
Quorum, sir.
Okay, Jared, you'll be on tap today to be voting. You have the minutes of our last meeting. Do we have any changes or additions to that meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I move that they be approved as presented.
Okay, we have a motion that the minutes be approved. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. They are approved. We want to welcome each of you here today, and let me explain to you quickly how we'll go about this. We will have a report from our staff on each item that is presented or that we have on our agenda. After our report for the staff, those of you who have a request before us, we'll ask you to come to the podium up here, give us your name and any additional information that you'd like to share with the board. After that, we'll have a public hearing on each item. That'll give a chance for the public to come. We ask that you keep your comments within 2 to 3 minutes. We ask that you stay on the subject that we have. And we'll try to move this along as quickly and efficiently as possible. The first item we have is a request by TNT Fireworks.
Okay. You ready? Thank you. Application BZA 2012-28 filed by TNT Fireworks involves the property located at 6137 Epps Mill Road. It's a 9.5-acre site zone retail and wholesale trade. They are seeking conditional use permit to allow the temporary sale of fireworks in this commercial district. TNT Fireworks have been located at this site for the last 4 to 5 years at least. I gave you all the application numbers, and we've never had any problems with their fireworks tent at this location. Again, it's a temporary conditional use permit for a 2-week period. They are placing a 30 by 50 tent in the parking lot to the corner of the parking lot, and this is the general area where it will be located along the Epps Mill and Forbes Road frontage. And we've not received any calls in opposition for the proposed request. We've posted a sign on the property, and this is the approximate location. You can see the site plan, the layout, the McDonald's, the truck stop, and the tent's located to the corner, right along those the landscape island and border landscaping. So that concludes our presentation.
Do we have anyone here representing TNT Fireworks? Who'll come around, please?
My name is Marty Thurber. I'm with TNT Fireworks, and just appreciate your consideration for approval for this location. We have the same operator this year that we've had in the past, so I don't see any.
Do we have any questions from the board? Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this. Close the public hearing. Do we have a motion on it?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to be approved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Keith Bratcher,
Yes.
Joe Crowell,
Yes.
Jerry Sartain,
Yes.
Jared Barrett,
Yes.
Dane Cantrell.
Yes,
Motion carries, sir.
it is approved. The next item is Absolute Fireworks.
Okay, application BZA 2012-29 involves, is filed by Absolute Fireworks. It involves the property located at 3892 Shelbyville Pike. It is a vacant commercial parcel that they would like to locate their fireworks tent for the 2-week period between June 20th and July 5th. The hours of operation, number of employees, and the size of the tents located in the staff report. Staff has received one informational call on this particular property. They are located on Shelbyville Pike, and I'm showing pictures of the surrounding area from the aspect of the property. And this is the approximate location of the proposed tent, and we are recommending approval with conditions. And just to make a note, this is Absolute Fireworks, they have multiple sites around the county that we've not had any problems with in the past, but this represents a new site for this particular applicant.
We have anyone here representing Absolute Fireworks? You'll come around, please.
Hi, I'm Rodney Gilruth, and I have nothing to add to the proposal.
Do we have any questions from the board? Okay, we're familiar with your operation out there. Thank you. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on it. We'll close the public hearing. We have a motion on it. Aaron?
Move to approve.
Have a motion that be approved. Have a second. Call the roll, please.
Bratcher,
Yes.
Joe Crowell,
Yes.
Jerry Sartain,
Yes.
Jared Barrett,
Yes.
Dane Cantrell.
Yes.
Motion carries, sir.
Next item we have on our agenda is a request by Rick Marshall, who is requesting temporary conditional permit for a barrel pit.
Application 2012-30 filed by Rick Marshall involves a property located off Swampleanna Road. It's a 54-acre parcel that is zoned residential 15. He is seeking temporary conditional use permit for a burrow pit in the R15 zone, and the applicant would like to extract about 5.5 acres of soil, or 4 or 5. He's going to dig a 5.5 acre pond, and the soil that he will be extracting for that pond he would like to remove from the site, and that will result in increased truck traffic, and it has triggered the requirements for the temporary conditional use permit. He will be subject to all of the conditions that apply to burrow pits, which also include meeting with engineering, providing a road bond for any damage that might occur from the truck traffic. There are limits to the hours of operation, especially blasting, which I doubt that this application has anything, any blasting involved with it. But he will be subject to those, so he will be required to continually comply with those conditions that we've included in our staff report. And we have received many phone calls on this property. They were all informational. There were some concerns about drainage in the area. I have, engineering is familiar with this particular application, and I believe that they have actually contacted the applicant, and they've had some discussions. And of course, afterwards, if he does get approved, he will have to meet with them anyways for the appropriate permits. Staff is recommending approval with conditions, and I'm just going to show you a few photos of the surrounding area. And we did receive one phone call from the city that had just noted that this property would be affected if any of the roadways that they have proposed on the county and city long-range transportation plan are realized. And as you see, this graphic shows where those locations may be, but as we all know, those are tentative and not exact. So it would affect him if they were to be developed. And that concludes our presentation.
All right, we have someone here representing this request. If you'll come around, please. Give us your name and any additional information you might have.
My name's Rick Marshall, and I'm digging this as for my personal use. It's going to be a residence for me, so it's going to be not just a hole left in the ground. It's going to be for horses and fish, so that's my intent for it.
Have any questions? Joe?
Sir, I don't understand. You don't own this land, do you?
If I can get this, then I'm going to use the money for the dirt to buy the land and put it under contract.
You're going to buy the land after the pond's dug?
Yes, sir.
But you're mainly doing this just for the dirt, right?
Right now I'm doing it for the dirt so I can afford to buy the land and put my house there.
But I say you're really doing this for the dirt, not for the pond.
No, I want the pond there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Michael?
Turn this on. You've got approximately 30 trucks a day coming out of there with dirt.
Yes,
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where are they coming out at on this property? Is the road already there for them to come out?
Yes, sir.
Is it right in the middle, or is it to the northeast or northwest corner of the
It's
property?
directly in the middle of the property.
I was concerned about trucks pulling out. If it's on the northeast side, people coming around that curve right there, and you know.
Yes, sir.
Truck pulling out. Thank you.
Any other questions? Joe, go ahead.
You got 30 trucks a day or 30 loads a day?
No, 30 loads a day.
30 loads a day?
Not 30 trucks.
Everybody a minute for the question. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this. If you'll come around, give us your name and any additional information you'd like to share with us.
My name's Steve Davenport, and I own the parcel 05901. It's like the second house up from that. And there's a lot of public traffic there. And like Mr. Jernigan was saying, the curves there, them trucks coming out and the way that curve is situated, that's going to be a dangerous situation there. There's quite a few people running off the road without any hazards right now. And this area here with heavy rains is prone to flooding, so I'm not aware if what he's intending on doing is going to help or improve that. I'm not an engineer, but all of us out there, like it was brought up, there's several calls and concern about the flooding ordeal.
Well, this will have to go through our engineer to make sure that it doesn't adversely affect you before it is built, if the board approves it. So that'll give you a little
comfort.
Yeah.
But also it's like him taking and getting the dirt out prior to personally purchasing this land. Something just doesn't seem right there to us out there about that, but thank you.
All right, thank you. Wait just a second. There may be a question. Do we have a question? You may go ahead and be seated then. We're still open for the public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak.
Cantrell. My name is Howard Wall, and I'm on the land out there, and I've owned it for about 5 years. And Mr. Marshall, if we get your approval today, we'll be entering an immediate contract this week with me, and for the process of him buying the land. And so he's in the excavating business, and you're probably going to be turning to the left, as I understand. And there is a demand for dirt, and this will help him pay for the property there. But I am into a contract as soon as approval is granted. And as we said, you'll probably be turning to the left there, away from that curve and any traffic. And Mr. Marshall, I was not present at this, but I understand that the people you were talking to at the engineering department thinks that would improve the drainage from where it is. It will enhance it. And but we've cleared up the property and made it look nice. And so Rick was doing that for me, and then he fell in love with the land, and if he could build a pond for he and Lawson to fish, and the little girl Fallon, and they're going to build a house up on that knoll there. I think it shows you on the plan there. So we are. He's owns another home, and he's going to, like I say, enter a contract with me and put that house up as collateral to purchase the land. So he will have collateral up, and I'm glad he bought it because I'd like to see a nice little family out there. Any other questions?
Any questions from the board?
I have a little something I'd like to follow up, Mr. Wall. I thought it's really the only concern I had. I wanted to ask you being the owner and Mr. Marshall, if when they're doing bringing the dirt off the site there, do you think it would be a problem if they had maybe some type of flag men or something out there? It seems like that's the only.
As I understand, I asked him that same question, and there will be a flag man there. And then also he has stabilized the road back there. Really, has built an existing road. And at the same time, he's put a ditch in on either side and new culverts out there. And this is forcing the water to go in a natural way towards that Blue Line stream out there.
All right. Thank you.
And something else, Mr. Bratcher, that I thought of there, but I think the engineers were pleased that he was going to do this because it will improve the land.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Wall. Anyone else? Still open for public hearing. Close the public hearing. Do we have a motion on it?
Move be approved, Mr.
Have
Chairman.
a motion that it be approved. We have a second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Keith Bratcher,
Yes.
Joe Crowell,
Yes.
Gary Sartain,
Yes.
Jared Barrett,
Yes.
Zane Cantrell.
Yes.
Motion carries, sir.
It is approved. The next item we have is a request by Gary Zoller, who is requesting a variance relief, and this is in total square footage. What do you have on that?
Application 2012-31 filed by Gary Zoller involves the property located at 503 Inez Drive. It's a 3.6 acre parcel that's zone residential 15. They are seeking conditional use permit to construct an accessory dwelling unit that does not meet the design standards for an ADU involving a property in the R15 zone, with variance relief from the total square footage for detached accessory structures. And all the applicant would like to do is build another residence on the property that would provide an independent living facility for an elderly parent that they would like to move from another state to their site at Inez Drive to be close to. And the applicant, given the land area of 3.6 acres, the applicant would be able to build an accessory dwelling unit on the property without having to obtain a conditional use permit. The problem is when the applicant purchased the property, there are already existing detached accessory structures located on the property, a garage, an RV port, a pavilion. The total square footage that's permitted for this 3.68 acre parcel is 1,800 square feet, and this additional accessory dwelling unit will cause that threshold to be exceeded even more so than it already is now. So that required the applicant to come before you and seek conditional use permit approval for this. It's not changing the zoning. He's simply wanting to build an independent living unit for an elderly parent on the property. As you can see, this is the layout of the property. You can see the location of the house, the RV and garage that are located on the site. There is a deck and pool. He indicates either the decking and the pool will be removed from the site. There are some additional decking and a pavilion on the site, as well as the location of the new structure, which will be located directly behind the pavilion. And this is an elevation. It's a constructed building. It's not, you know, some of the applications that we have processed in the past have involved like a mobile home. This will be site built, and it will have a pitched roof, and the applicant has provided us an elevation of the structure as well as a floor plan. And this is just an aerial, and we just drew a shape to show you the approximate location. There's quite a bit of vegetation. There was some concern about a creek on the property. That's actually, I pulled the plat, it's a drainage easement, and none of the improvements that are being proposed today will affect that. And staff recommends approval with conditions, and that concludes our presentation.
Do we have anyone here representing this request? If you come around, please.
I am an only child, and my husband was transferred down. Oh, I'm sorry. Kristen A. Zoller, so I'm Gary's wife. My husband was transferred here from Michigan a few years ago. As well, my father passed away a few years ago, right before Gary and I were married. And my mother and father were both only children. She is currently there by herself in Michigan at the house I grew up in. It's quite a bit of house for her to take care of, and of course I miss her a lot. So we wanted to bring her down. She's only 68, so she still feels very independent. She wants to live on her own. She doesn't want to live in the house with us. So we thought that this would be a good idea to give her a facility on our property where I could see her every day and look in on her and take care of her. Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Thank you very much. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this request. Close the public hearing. We have a motion on it.
Make a motion be approved.
Have a motion that be approved.
Second. I'll second.
Got a second. Call the roll, please.
Keith Bratcher,
Yes.
Joe Crowell,
Yes.
Jerry Sartain,
Yes.
Jared Barrett,
Yes.
Thane Cantrell.
Yes.
Motion carries, sir.
Okay, it is approved. The next item we have is a request by Bob Frank. What do you have on that, please? Another structure, accessory structure.
Yes, application 2012 filed by Bob Frank involves a variance request for an additional 764 square feet of detached accessory structure area in the R15 zone. And the applicant is seeking approval. At this moment, they are constructing a 2,400 square foot building on the property. There are no other detached accessory structures on the property, but he is entitled with a 5-acre site to have 2,500 square feet. The applicant would also like to have on this 2,400 square foot structure a covered porch area, and the covered porch area is what we're considering tonight. They would like it to be open to provide for outdoor recreational area. I believe the applicant's going to build a pool in the future, and they would like to have that covered porch built on the structure that's being constructed now, and would like to take care of all of that at the same time. As you see from the aerial, there are 2 pods or storage containers located in a corner of the property. Those will be removed upon the completion of the structure he is building. And we have received phone calls on this particular application. Once the neighbors found out what the request was, no one indicated any problems with the request. Once constructed, it would not trip any threshold, lot coverage thresholds. And keep in mind, in a few months, the square footage might not be an issue should the new zoning resolution be adopted. However, now the applicant wanted to proceed and seek your approval for this variance. It does not meet the criteria for variance request, and that's why staff recommended denial. But it does not appear that it would cause too much of a problem being out there. These are large open tracts, and no one indicated any problems with it. We posted a sign on the property. This is the surrounding area. It's rural, large homes, as you can see. Off in the distance, this is the building pad of the structure, the 2,400 square foot structure that's being built, and the porch will be attached to that. Okay. And that concludes our presentation. If you could just see the aerial, that's the approximate location of the structure in question.
Hey, do we have anyone here representing this request? If you come around, please give us your name and any additional information you'd like to share.
Mr. Chairman, I just got a question for us, for staff. Make sure I understand this right. So really, the only thing that's happening here is by him wanting to add the porch on because it's covered. That's the only thing. That's what's putting him over.
That is the only portion that is putting him over. And it will be open. It won't be
Right.
enclosed. It's just covered.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Bob Frank, and like I said, we're planning on putting a pool in within 2 months. And with this package I'm getting, it's just easier to go ahead and order it now and have that to put up. And the pool later on will be pretty close to that.
Any questions? Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this request. Close the public hearing. We have a motion on it.
I would hate to deny a man his porch on this building, so I'm going to make a motion that we approve.
I second it.
Got a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Bratcher,
Yes.
Joe Crowell,
Yes.
Jerry Sartain,
Yes.
Jared Barrett,
Yes.
Cantrell.
Yes. Is approved. Any other business that we have? We are adjourned. Thank you so much.